Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a good time with your family and friends and liking these sessions. In today's video on Azure, I'm here to show you how you can schedule your Fabric capacity as an administrator. In order to do this lab, you already need to have a Fabric capacity, so it means you need to have an FSQ deployed. So in my case, I already have one with the name myFabric, and I'm utilizing the F2, which is the least SQ that you can have. You can see that the status is paused. Now that's the prerequisite number one. Now other thing is that you need to be Fabric capacity administrator. Now I am logged in as an administrator for this Azure subscription, and if I can show you, I'm also administrator for this capacity. That's prereq number two. And the other thing that we're going to do is to use the automation account, and in that we're going to use a Runbook in order to create a schedule and to auto schedule my capacity for this Fabric. So let's go and create an automation account. Pick the resource group, give the name for the automation account. I'm taking all these default for the automation account, and let's click on the create button. Let's go and expand my automation account, which is my AA108. And under the process automation, I have the runbook button, which I'm going to expand. And let's go and try to import a runbook. I'm going to go to browse from gallery, and here I'm going to search for Fabric. Now this is the runbook that we're going to utilize, suspend or resume Fabric capacity. So let's go and expand this, and I'm going to go and click on select. Feel free to give the name. And for the runtime version, I'm going to pick the latest, which is 7.2. And if you want, you can give the description, which is already populated. And let's go and click on the import button. So the import was successful. Let's go and publish this. But before I publish, you can see the resource ID. The operation is suspend or resume. And if you want, you can always tweak it. You can edit this in the portal, or you can edit this via the Visual Studio Code. Let's go and click on the publish button. And the runbook was published successfully. I will still see, I want this authoring status to change to publish, so just give it a moment. So you can see that was published successfully. Now if I go and expand this, under the resources, I have the schedule button. Let's go and expand. Right now you don't see any schedule, but I can go and create a schedule at what time I want this to get started. So let's say I want to give the name for this start, and here I can provide at what time I want this to be scheduled, and if I want this to be only once or I want this to be a recurring affair. So I can pick whatever I want, right? I can choose from recur every hour, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now if I go and pick weekly, I can go and select the days from here, right? If I can also go and pick the days, I can change the time zone. I can click on the create button, right? Let's just go and take whatever the default right now, and it's saying that it should start at let's say close to 6 p.m. I can click on the create button, and it is asking me for the parameter and the run settings, right? If I go and expand this, it is asking for the resource ID and where you can get the resource ID. Let me just duplicate this tab. If I go under my fabric capacity, as you know, in Azure, every resource has a resource ID attached to it. And under settings, if I go to the properties, this is a resource ID. I can provide it over there under parameter. So let's go and provide it. And the operation I want is to have resume, right? So I want that to be started, and let's click on the OK button. So the schedule was created successfully. Same way, if I want, I can also create a schedule to stop this. And again, I can specify what time I want this to be started, zone I want to make it once or recurring affair. You can provide that information. Let's say 7 p.m. We're just testing it out, right? I just want to show you because this is a great way of keeping a track of the cost. So you don't want to get charged when you're not utilizing that capacity. So if you can auto schedule that, that would be great. All right, so you can see the schedule was created successfully. If I go and expand this, I can go and unlink, obviously. I can always change the settings. So all these things are possible, but let's test it out, right? I don't want to wait for that particular schedule to happen. Now, if I go and expand my Runbook, you can see I can edit it. I can link to schedule or, there are different options. Let's go and click on the edit. And as he said, you can edit this in a Visual Studio Code or in a portal. Let's click on the portal. And this is the runbook we are talking about. So as I mentioned about the ID, about the operation, suspend or resume, right? All this information is here. Let's try to test it out. And I'm going to pick the test pane for this. And let's provide the resource ID here. And the operation I want is to resume. So remember, my capacity right now is in pause state. So by the way, you can always go and manually change it, but you don't want to do that, right? You want to put a schedule. That's the whole idea about this lab is. So right now it is in pause state. Let's see what's the experience going to be if we are trying to test it out and will it start or not. So let's click on the start button. Should not take that long. Let's hope that we get successful notification. So you can see that it's still in pause state. Okay, so it's completed, but it's saying that I got some error, which is response status code does not indicate success. So it's not working for me. All right, I've seen this error code before too, and maybe this has to do with my automation account. So let me just go inside and let's see what we can do here. I remember when we created this, we took all this default. Let me go and go to the automation account settings. And if I go under the identity, I was assigned system assigned in this case, but let's go because I know that running an automation account is a critical task. Let's go and expand add role assignment. I'm going to add role and select the scope. Obviously, you can select the scope for subscription, resource group, keyword storage. Let me just pick subscription for this. And I want to give this automation account the owner access. Let's go and save it. The role was added successfully. I should be able to see that role. Okay, so that was added. Now let's give a try. and see if it starts for me. Okay. I'm going to go to the fabric capacity just to see. Let's see. And okay, still thinking. All right, so at this stage, I didn't got any error. Let's go and cross check. And you can see the status is now changed from pause to resuming. So it means that my Runbook is working fine, and whatever schedule I have given, it's going to auto start at that particular time. And at the same schedule, the one that I've given, it will suspend, so it means it's going to pause. So this is a great way of saving cost in case you are not running your fabric capacity 24/7. Hope you found this session useful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.